Right now, as you're watching this video, something incredible is happening beneath the ocean. Not fish, not submarines, not hidden treasure, but something far more valuable. Every Google search, every WhatsApp message, every online bank transfer, every ChatGPT conversation, every YouTube video travels through thousands of miles of cables lying silently on the ocean floor. Not satellites, cables. And if just a few of them were cut, entire countries could lose access to the internet within minutes. So here's the question. Why have most people never heard about them? When people think about the internet, they imagine invisible Wi-Fi signals floating through the air or satellites orbiting high above the Earth. It sounds futuristic, but reality is very different. More than 95% of international internet traffic travels through fiber-optic cables laid across the seabed, not through satellites. Imagine a network stretching across the oceans, long enough to wrap around the Earth many times, quietly carrying trillions of dollars in financial transactions, government communications, cloud computing, and billions of personal conversations every single day. But if these cables are so important, who owns them? The answer isn't as simple as you might think. Some are owned by governments, others by telecom companies. But increasingly, the biggest technology companies in the world are building and funding their own submarine cable networks. Companies like Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon have invested billions to improve global connectivity. Why? Because every second of delay can affect billions of users. And in the digital economy, speed is power. The faster your data moves, the more valuable your business becomes. But that leads to another question. If private companies control so much of this infrastructure, who protects it? To understand why this matters, imagine waking up tomorrow, your bank app won't open, your favorite website stop loading, cloud services go offline, international phone calls fail, stock markets begin slowing down, airlines face communication problems. Hospitals lose access to cloud-based systems. Within hours, modern life begins to feel very different, all because the single cable, thousands of meters below the ocean, has stopped working. Suddenly, these invisible lines become the most important infrastructure on Earth. Building one undersea cable is one of the most complex engineering projects ever attempted. Specialized ships slowly cross entire oceans, carefully laying fiber-optic cables across the seabed. Every kilometer must be planned. Every route must avoid underwater mountains, deep trenches, volcanic zones, and busy shipping lanes. One mistake could cost millions of dollars. Some projects take years to complete, and a single cable system can cost hundreds of millions of dollars. But despite the enormous investment, the biggest danger isn't always nature. Sometimes it's people. Throughout history, several undersea cables have been damaged, sometimes by earthquakes, sometimes by fishing equipment, sometimes by ship anchors. And in a few cases, investigators have questioned whether the damage was truly accidental. Because in today's world, disrupting communications can create economic and political consequences far beyond the ocean itself. That possibility has made these cables a growing concern for governments around the world, which raises an uncomfortable question. Could the internet become a battlefield? The answer may surprise you. Military planners, intelligence agencies, technology companies, and governments all understand one thing. The internet isn't just websites and social media anymore. It's banking, energy, healthcare, defense, transportation, artificial intelligence, and national security. Control the flow of information, and you influence nearly everything connected to the modern world. That's why these cables are no longer viewed as simple engineering projects. They become strategic assets. And wherever strategic assets exist, competition follows. But here's the twist almost nobody talks about. The real battle isn't happening on the surface of the ocean. It's happening far below it, hidden in darkness, where almost no cameras can reach, where repairs take days, sometimes weeks, and where a single damaged cable can send shockwaves to the global economy. So the next question is, who is building these massive networks, and why the world's biggest powers race and control them? The answer begins with silent competition, worth more than $500 billion. For decades, undersea internet cables were built mainly by telecom companies. Their goal was simple: connect countries, improve communication, expand global business. It was never about power. At least, that's what most people believed. But behind the scenes, something was quietly changing. The companies building the internet were becoming more powerful than the companies using it. And almost nobody noticed. Then came the rise of big tech. Google, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon. Billions of people started using their services every single day. Every search, every photo, every video, every cloud file, every AI request. Data was growing at a speed the old internet simply wasn't designed for. Leasing capacity from telecom companies was no longer enough. So big tech made a decision that would change the internet forever. Instead of renting the highways, they would build their own. At first, it sounded impossible. Why would a technology company spend billions laying cables across entire oceans? The answer was surprisingly simple. Control, not control over people, but control over speed, reliability, and the future of the digital economy. If your business depends on moving data across continents, owning the road is far more valuable than paying someone else to use it. So one by one, massive undersea cable projects began to appear, connecting North America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and beyond. Quietly, the map of the internet started changing. But building these cables isn't like building a highway. Specialized cable-laying ships move across the ocean at incredibly slow speeds. The fiber-optic cable is carefully lowered to the seabed, sometimes more than 8,000 meters below the surface. Every meter must survive crushing pressure, powerful ocean currents, and decades of continuous operation. One mistake can delay an entire project. One broken section can interrupt communications across multiple countries, and repairing it is far more difficult than installing it. Now imagine this. A repair ship receives an emergency call. Somewhere in the middle of the ocean, an internet cable has failed, but nobody knows exactly why. The crew sails for days. They use robotic submarines to locate the damaged section. Then, they carefully lift thousands of meters of cable from the ocean floor. Even rough weather can stop the operation completely. Sometimes, repairs take weeks. During that time, internet traffic must be rerouted through other cables. Most users never notice. But behind the scenes, the global network is constantly adapting to survive, which raises another question. What happens if multiple cables fail at the same time? That's exactly what worries governments. Because modern economies don't depend on one cable. They depend on hundreds, working together like the nervous system of the planet. Financial markets, military communications, international banking, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, air traffic, emergency services. Everything depends on information moving instantly. If several major routes were disrupted simultaneously, the economic impact could be enormous. And that's why undersea cables are no longer just communication infrastructure. They're considered part of a nation's critical infrastructure. Today, countries are investing billions to protect these networks. Navies patrol important regions. New monitoring systems are being developed. Private companies work alongside governments to improve resilience. Because everyone understands one reality. The internet isn't floating in the clouds. It has a physical backbone. And that backbone lies at the bottom of the ocean. But while countries focus on protecting today's cables, another race has already begun. A race to build the next generation of global internet infrastructure. And the companies leading that race could shape the future of the digital world. So here's the real mystery. If undersea cables carry almost all the world's internet traffic, why do most people still believe satellites power the internet? And what role are companies like Google, Meta, and Microsoft really playing beneath the ocean? The answer reveals a hidden competition worth hundreds of billions of dollars, one that's becoming more important every single year. The next global conflict may not begin in the sky or on land. It may begin thousands of meters beneath the ocean, hidden in complete darkness, where a few thin fiber-optic cables quietly carry the digital heartbeat of humanity. It's strange to think about. Something no wider than a garden hose can influence economies worth trillions of dollars. But that's the reality of the modern world. Every second, millions of people send messages, watch videos, trade stocks, use AI, transfer money, store files in the cloud, talk to family across continents. Most never stop to ask, how does all of this actually travel around the world? The answer has been beneath our feet, or more accurately, beneath the oceans all along. But the world is changing faster than ever. Artificial intelligence is creating an explosion of data. Cloud computing continues to grow. Video streaming is reaching billions of people. Companies are building larger data centers than ever before. And every new technology demands one thing: more bandwidth, more speed, more capacity. That means tomorrow's internet will need an even stronger underwater network than today's. And whoever builds that network may shape the future of the digital economy. This is why companies like Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon are investing billions into submarine cable systems, not simply because they want faster internet, but because owning infrastructure creates independence. It gives them greater control over performance, security, and future expansion. The internet has quietly become one of the most valuable assets any company can own. And beneath the ocean, the race is only accelerating. Governments understand this too. The United States, Japan, Australia, European nations. Many are investing in new cable routes. Why? Because relying on too few connections creates risk. If one route fails, another must immediately take its place. The goal isn't just faster internet. It's resilience, the ability to keep entire economies connected, even during unexpected disruptions. Because in today's world, connectivity is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. Yet, perhaps the biggest surprise is how invisible all of this remains. People notice new smartphones, faster Wi-Fi, more powerful AI, but very few notice the infrastructure making it possible. Undersea cables don't appear in advertisements. They rarely make headlines. Most people never even see one. And maybe that's exactly why they're so fascinating. The most important systems are often the ones nobody thinks about. So, who really controls the internet? The answer isn't one country or one company. It's a complex network of governments, technology giants, telecom operators, engineers, and thousands of people working behind the scenes to keep the digital world alive. It's a system built on cooperation, but also shaped by competition. And as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and global data continue to expand, that competition will only become more intense. The next time you send a message, watch a movie, use online banking, or ask AI a question, remember this: your data probably won't travel through space. It will race through a strand of glass, hidden beneath thousands of meters of ocean water, a silent highway, connecting almost every corner of our planet. Invisible, fragile, yet powerful enough to keep the modern world running. And perhaps the greatest battle for the future isn't happening in the skies. It's happening where almost nobody is looking, deep beneath the sea. If this documentary changed the way you see the internet, subscribe to Rise from Zero, because every week we uncover the hidden companies, secret technologies, and silent battles shaping our future. The stories that change the world are usually the ones no one is talking about.